Ford, what does he mean to you when you hear that name? What does he mean when you first hear that?
A father. Father.
For those deeply entrenched in the sport, it is well known that Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis shared a bond that went beyond the typical trainer-athlete relationship. Ford was not just a trainer. He was a mentor, a father figure, and the guiding force behind Davis's career.
It's happened to young African-American guys in sports or anything, it just happened to be Gervonta. He had a chance to see who he really is because he's still walking around like...
Rising from the tough streets of Baltimore, Gervonta Davis's journey to the top was anything but smooth. Through every high and low, Calvin Ford stood by him, providing unwavering support. Their connection was forged in the crucible of struggle. Ford, a former substance dealer who turned his life around, saw himself in Davis, a kid from the streets brimming with potential yet haunted by the dangers of his environment. This deep bond was the foundation of their relationship, making the current allegations even more shocking.
With your head trainer, Calvin Ford, you guys have been together since the beginning, and talk about a winning combination between you two.
It's family.
The unbreakable bond between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis wasn't as indestructible as it seemed. Over the past year, rumors of tension and clashes over lifestyle choices began to circulate, especially as both of their legal troubles mounted. After their split, Ford revealed his true thoughts, criticizing Davis's reckless choices and how they overshadow his career. His words were loaded with pain and disappointment, expressing that Davis's endless potential is constantly jeopardized by his life outside the ring. This wasn't just a critique. It was a reality check from someone who deeply cared. Ford's revelations unearthed some really dark details that traced back to various incidents in Davis' past. One significant breaking point in Ford's view was the infamous 2020 hit and run incident. This wasn't just a brush with the law. It was a disturbing episode that shattered lives. Late one night in Baltimore, Davis reportedly ran a red light, crashing into a car carrying 4 passengers, including a pregnant woman. Did he stay and help? No, Davis fled the scene, leaving the victims injured and traumatized in his wake. This is the image of Tank that Ford believes is coming out now. A fighter who only cares about himself and wouldn't even mind letting go family. Davis later pleaded guilty to multiple charges, facing the very real prospect of 7 years in prison. However, in a controversial decision, he was granted a sentence of 90 days of home detention. But even that leniency didn't keep him in check. In June 2023, Davis was taken back into custody for allegedly violating the terms of his house arrest. Instead of staying at his assigned home location, Davis had reportedly relocated to a luxurious penthouse at Baltimore's Four Seasons Hotel, a choice that many viewed as a blatant disregard for the conditions of his sentence. According to Ford, this was the side of Tank that he was trying so hard to avoid. He tried to keep Davis focused on his fights and living a positive life, but all that effort has now been thrown in the trash. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there. Davis has faced multiple accusations of domestic violence, painting a disturbing picture of his personal life. One of the earliest incidents surfaced in 2020 when video footage showed Davis aggressively grabbing the mother of his child by the throat during a charity basketball game. While Davis later apologized, stating that his emotions got the better of him, the damage to his reputation was undeniable. Charges were ultimately dropped, but the footage left a mark that no apology could erase. Fast forward to December 2022, and Davis found himself back in jail, facing accusations that he struck a woman, reportedly causing a minor injury to her lip. The accuser claimed Davis hit her while she was in the car with their child. A harrowing scenario that cast Davis in an even darker light. Though the accuser later recanted her statement, the damage had been done. The incident added another layer of public scrutiny, leaving fans and critics alike to wonder if Davis's career could survive his personal demons. For Calvin Ford, these incidents were not just mistakes to brush off. They represented something deeper, a sense of betrayal and frustration. Davis wasn't just hurting his own career. He was wasting the opportunities Ford had worked so hard to help him achieve. Ford had always preached discipline, respect, and accountability, values that Davis seemed to disregard time and again. In a recent interview, Ford hinted at his feelings without holding back, suggesting that Davis's behavior was tearing apart the fabric of their relationship. Parting words revealed his pain, disappointment, and even a touch of anger. He noted how Davis's decision-making had grown increasingly destructive, emphasizing that despite his prodigious talent, Davis might be his own worst enemy. It now seems that Tank is in the hands of other influencers like Ellis, and most importantly, Leonard Ellerbe. Although Ford and Ellis have been the two major figures in Tank's career, Ford believes that the association with Ellerbe might not be as clean as it seems. According to many fans, the belief is that the relationship between Tank and Ellerbe has contributed to the downfall of the father-son dynamic that once existed between Ford and Davis. However, Ellerbe doesn't see it that way. In his own vision, Ellerbe believes he is just trying to build a better world for Tank. This includes planning his future fights, making sure Tank makes the right financial decisions, and even advising him on personal choices. When discussing Ford and Tank's situation, Ellerbe diverted the conversation to talk about what the future holds for Tank. According to Ellerbe, when it comes to Tank's next fight, it is entirely up to Davis to decide who he faces and when. This hands-off approach suggests a significant shift from the structured guidance that Ford provided. Yet, despite the turmoil, Davis remains a formidable force in the ring. His talent is undeniable, but the question remains whether he can navigate his personal pitfalls to fulfill the potential that Ford once saw in him. The coming months will be telling, as legal proceedings loom and personal controversies continue to unfold. The boxing world watches with bated breath. Will Davis rise above his challenges and reclaim his place at the pinnacle of the sport? Or will his personal demons continue to overshadow his professional achievements? One thing is clear: the story of Gervonta Davis is far from over, and the next chapters will determine the true legacy of the fighter known as Tank. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there. Davis has faced multiple accusations of domestic violence, painting a disturbing picture of his personal life. One of the earliest incidents surfaced in 2020 when video footage showed Davis aggressively grabbing the mother of his child by the throat during a charity basketball game. While Davis later apologized, stating that his emotions got the better of him, the damage to his reputation was undeniable. Charges were ultimately dropped, but the footage left a mark that no apology could erase.